The night he died, the rain didn't stop for hours. It drummed against the windows of her apartment, drowning out the sound of sirens far away. But even before the phone call came, Emma knew. There's a silence the world keeps before it takes someone you love, a heavy stillness that feels like holding your breath forever. The morning after the accident, her phone buzzed. "Good morning, beautiful. Don't skip breakfast today." Her heart stopped. It was from Noah. She stared at the message for a long time, her hand shaking. She wanted to believe it was a mistake, that he was still alive, still somewhere texting her like he always did. But the truth sat beside her like a ghost. Noah was gone. He died on his way home from work, a drunk driver, a red light, a phone call that shattered everything. Emma cried until her eyes burned, but then her phone buzzed again. "Lunch on me? I'll pick you up at 1. It was another message, cheerful, casual, alive. That's when she realized these weren't new. They were scheduled. Noah was always thoughtful to a fault. He'd remember everything. The anniversary of their first date, the exact shade of her favorite tea mug, the smell of her shampoo. He'd plan surprises for no reason at all. A few months before he died, she'd teased him for always texting her reminders. He laughed, wrapping his arms around her. "If I could, I'd text you every morning for the rest of your life," he'd said, "so you'd never forget someone out there loves you." She hadn't known he meant it literally. Days turned into weeks. The texts kept coming, one every morning, sometimes in the evening too. Little things like, "Don't forget your umbrella. I'm proud of you. You're stronger than you think." Emma began to live her life around them. She couldn't bring herself to delete the thread. It was the last thing that still felt like him. Each message became a pulse, a reminder that love didn't die just because the person did. Sometimes she replied, even though she knew there'd be no answer. "I miss you. I wish you were here. Today was hard, Noah." She never sent those. She just typed and stared, then pressed save as draft. 3 months later, she was walking home when her phone buzzed again. She smiled softly, ready for another gentle reminder. But this time it said something different. "If you're reading this, I probably can't be there anymore." Her breath caught. The world tilted slightly. "I scheduled these messages for a year just in case something ever happened. I didn't want you to feel alone. But if this is the one you're reading now, it means I didn't make it home." Emma sank onto a bench, tears spilling freely. People passed by, but she couldn't move, couldn't breathe. "Promise me one thing. Don't stay stuck here. You deserve a whole life, Em. You always did. Go to Paris like we planned. Paint again. Laugh. Fall in love if it happens. Don't feel guilty for it. You made my life something beautiful. Thank you for loving me even when I was impossible. You were the best part of my story." The message ended with a picture. It was them, standing in front of the old bookstore where they first met, rain in her hair, his arm around her shoulders. She hadn't even realized he had taken that photo. Underneath, one final line. "If I could, I'd text you one more time. But since I can't, this is my last message." For weeks, Emma didn't sleep properly. She'd read that message again and again, tracing every word as if touching his voice. There were more messages after that, small ones he must have scheduled before, cheerful reminders that now felt like echoes of a life cut short. But she knew the real goodbye had already been said. One evening, she finally did what she had been afraid to. She opened a new text, this time from her number to his. "Hi, Noah. I kept my promise. I went to Paris. I'm painting again. And I still think of you every morning." She hit send, even though the message would never deliver. It wasn't for him anymore. It was for her. Months later, Emma woke up to sunlight spilling across her bed. Her phone buzzed on the nightstand. For a heartbeat, she thought, just for a heartbeat, that it might be another message from him. But it wasn't. It was from an unknown number. "Hi, I'm sorry, I think this was your fiancé's old phone number. I just got it reactivated. There are still a few messages scheduled to send out automatically. Should I stop them?" Emma smiled through tears. "No, please let them keep coming. He still has more to say." On the anniversary of his death, she got one last message. "Hey, you! If this really is my last text, thank you for letting me love you. Don't cry today. Go do something wild. Go live. I'll always be the quiet in your favorite song, the light before morning. I'll always be somewhere in the words you write. Goodbye, beautiful." This time, Emma didn't cry. She walked out into the sunlight, phone in her hand, wind in her hair, and whispered, "Goodbye, Noah." And somewhere, in a world beyond words, he smiled.